Well, it's nice to see you all, boys and girls. Can I see any children there? I'm looking around. Give me a wave. Well, as Peter said, I'm Karen, and I think I have met most of the boys and girls, and if not, a big hello to you. I hope you are all surviving homeschool and learning at home. I know we are just about surviving, and one of our favourite things to do in home learning is reading a story. So I thought I would read to you, boys and girls, one of our favourite stories as a family. And do you know, somebody actually gave us this story when we first started coming to this church. And so it's a very special book to us, and you'll find out why at the end. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen so that you can see all the pictures. Okay, and I need a big wave or a nod or a silly dance that tells me that you can see it. Okay, can you see my screen? It should have a big light bulb. Can you see that? Yes, I can see some nods. Great. Well, I'm going to read this story to you, boys and girls, and it looks like I've got a little helper here. Okay. God's very good idea. In the beginning, in fact, before the beginning, God had a very good idea. It was an even better idea than chocolate chip cookies, than solar panels, the super soaker, and the colour TV. That's right, TVs used to be black and white, can you believe it? Before fireworks, before roller skates, before the life raft, and the X-ray machine. Wow, it must be a really good idea. God's idea was to make people, lots of different people, who would all enjoy loving Him and all enjoy loving each other. They would all be made in His image. They would all be like mirrors, reflecting what God is like. Because God is full of love. They would be full of love too. So God got to work. He made a beautiful world for people to live in. Then He made the first people, a man and a woman. And He said to them, "Be happy, enjoy loving me and loving each other. Have a huge family that will fill the earth and look after the earth, enjoy the earth." And God carried on creating people. All of them were made in His image, and all of them were different too. Some were men, some were women, some liked reading, some had darker skin, some had lighter skin, and some liked riding bikes, and some had curly hair, and some had straight hair. We live in God's world. We are all different, but we are also all the same. Everyone you see is different than you, and the same as you. They might look different, or speak different, or play different, but they are all made in God's image, and so they are all valuable. This is God's very good idea. But people ruined God's very good idea. The first people chose not to love God, and this is called sin. And because they chose not to love God as they should, they forgot how to love each other as they should. And you can see in this picture that there's a lot of sad things happening. We are the same. We choose not to love God, and so we are not able to love each other like we should. We sin, and sometimes we treat others badly because they are different than us. People fight with each other, people are mean to each other, and people laugh at each other. Because we have ruined God's very good idea, He is not pleased with us. Our sin means that we can't be friends with Him or enjoy living with Him. We need God's forgiveness for ruining His very good idea. It's the same for everyone in the world. People who like reading need forgiveness, and people who like riding bikes need forgiveness. People with darker skin need forgiveness, and people with lighter skin need forgiveness. People with curly hair need forgiveness, and people with straight hair need forgiveness. But God was not surprised by people ruining things. He had always had a very good plan to rescue His very good idea. Do you notice that little picture, boys and girls, of a mummy and a daddy and a baby? I wonder if you can have a guess of who those people are. Bobby, do you think you know who they are? Who do you think they are? Yeah, Mary, Joseph and baby Jesus. I think maybe that was part of God's plan. So God got to work. He came to earth as a person, Jesus. And look, you can see Jesus getting baptized there, and you can see lots of bread and lots of fish. I wonder what story that is. Jesus loved people who were different than Him. He loved people who no one else loved. There's a picture of Jesus making somebody better. He always enjoyed loving all the different people He met. Jesus shows us how to enjoy loving each other. But people didn't love Jesus. Instead, they hated Him. They put Him on a cross to die. But this was part of God's plan. On the cross, Jesus took our sin so that we can be forgiven. Jesus forgives His people for their sins. Jesus didn't stay dead. He rose back to life and then went back to live in heaven. And then He gave people His Spirit to help them enjoy loving Him and loving all the different people they know. Jesus helps us to love each other. And there are some pictures of different people loving each other well. One day, God will finish His very good idea. Jesus will come back and make the world perfect again. And anyone who has asked Jesus to forgive them will live there with all their different languages and skin colours. They will enjoy loving God and loving each other. They will enjoy praising God for making, rescuing, and finishing His very good idea. But here's a very, very, very good part of God's very good idea. You don't have to wait till then to enjoy it. Jesus welcomes anyone who asks Him to forgive them. And when Jesus welcomes someone, He welcomes them into His family forever. I love this picture. He welcomes people who like reading and people who like riding bikes. He welcomes people with darker skin, people with lighter skin, people with curly hair, straight hair. Do you know why I think I like this picture? Because there's lots of people in the same room having fun together, and I miss that. God's family is called the church. Your church friends are your brothers and sisters. Your wonderful and colourful church family. You can enjoy loving them and loving God with them. This is God's very good idea. Lots of different people enjoying loving Him and loving each other. God made it. People ruined it. He rescued it. He will finish it. I wonder if we could say that last wee bit together. Mummies and daddies could maybe help. God made it. People ruined it. He rescued it. He will finish it. And with your church family, you can enjoy being part of it right now. So boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed that book, because I certainly did. I love that story. And I shall hand back to Peter once I've stopped sharing my screen.